Check it out, guys. This is the Gladius underwater 4K drone, and we're gonna go ahead and arm the motors. It is armed. I can now troll the surface if I want to. If I want to dive, push down and give it a little bit of forward pitch, and down she goes. Now I can troll underneath the water like an absolute boss, and I can see what I'm doing on my screen. This has the ability to go down to 330 feet. I would say this thing is moving right along. That's at 30% power. I'm just kind of trolling it around here. And that's a dead stop. So it's got quite a reverse in it. So that's full forward at 30%, dead stop. This thing's got plenty of power. Plenty of power to have some fun. Kind of trolling along the bottom here. I have yet to use pitch down except for when we first took off. I'm going to tap pitch down again. It catches a little and pulls itself down. These controls are very sensitive, but they work good. I'm just kind of hanging on the bottom here. We'll wait till it floats up just a tad bit, and then I'll give her some more forward pitch. There we go. Working excellent. At 30%, it's pretty quick. Let's open her up here. So you can see this thing really moves through the water gracefully too. It is quick. It is definitely quick. Very accurate controls, very precise. Let's bring her on up here. Alright, so I've just kind of been playing with it here to get a feel for things. It's doing pretty good. We're going to go ahead and dive again. So to dive, basically dive down is this way. As you can see, it's pitching itself completely down. And then if I pull back, it'll dive up. Pretty easy to use. And then this is your basic turn, left, right, forward, backwards, or brakes, whatever you want to say it as. Pretty easy to set up. Alright. Let's take her down again here. There we go. Oh, like I said, it's all just up, down, left, forward, backwards, right. It does a fairly good job. It's consistent. So I've had an opportunity to play with this sitting down in the chair, actually enjoying some of the FPV, trolling around the inside of the pool. I think I have the controls down pretty well. I went ahead and dropped the sensitivity all the way back to like 0. and it made it a lot more controllable. I guess I'm just not used to the fast rates on this thing. It's very precise when the rates are turned up. So I'm probably good for currents, ocean currents, stuff like that. If you needed to turn up the rates, you could do that. And the acro mode on this, I'm probably going to have to take some practice with. My phone is currently overheating though, so unfortunately I need to shut things down because it just keeps going into reconnect mode. The phone smells extremely hot, like it's burning up. That's because I was trying to run my screen recorder and the app at the same time, plus have 720p live feed. And so as you can see, my phone is just getting a horrible amount of lag. The CPU is completely at its max point right now, so we will not be screen recording the next version of this when I have this in the water, unfortunately, because this poor little phone just can't handle it. It's doing pretty rough right now, so we're going to shut things down. Very easy to control. I was very surprised after I went into the settings here and I went into ROV. I dropped it all the way back to 0. It starts at 30% right here, so as you can see, it just reconnected. So my phone is definitely starting to overheat right now. It's having some issues. It's definitely not the quad's fault, but yeah, so it just reconnected again. So I dropped it all the way back down, and then I hit A for enter, and then back, and it was much more controllable. So when I started it up, it was a lot easier to control at this point. It dives nice and easy. It's a nice slow pace, as you can see. It just cruises through the water real gradually. It makes things a lot easier to control when you first start off in low rates. So this is definitely the way I would be running it around. I think I'll find that ocean currents may force me to turn up the rates a bit, but as of right now, just pool trolling like this, perfect, just perfect rates. So it's definitely doing pretty good. Fortunately, I can't keep using it without my phone working properly, but as you can see, it definitely coasts through the water very nicely. I have a few recordings we're going to go ahead and throw up for this, so I think it is definitely ready for the ocean. It dives really nicely, so I'm happy. Let's bring it back in here. I'm starting to get a little tangled because all the circles I've been doing over here. So let's start bringing her up. Here she comes, and bloop. Bring her on up to the dock here. I think we're good to go. Disarmed. Very cool. So that is the Gladius. Yeah. 4K. Oh boy, she's full of water here. Let her drain out a bit. Very heavy at the moment. That's the Gladius 4K underwater drone. That is the first water mission it's had. I think it was quite successful. I'm gonna go ahead and have to let that drain for a bit, and we're gonna call it a day. We're gonna give my phone a chance to chill out here. Having the brightness at 100% to be able to see there was a whole barrage of things that overheated the phone, so maybe next time I'll have to take one of my other devices to do this so we don't run into this issue again. But Gladius worked perfect, so that's it, guys. That was the first water trip. Now we're gonna have to set up a time to take my buddy Jerry's boat out and take this thing out to some super cool locations. So I will talk to you guys in a bit. Drone worship, and I'm out. Toodaloo.